Hey there, welcome to Creative Nature Adventures. It is Sunday Funday, Suncoast Sunday Funday, and I was going to do another video about sketching and throwing up a video, but I'm having issues with that, so I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm hoping by next week I'll have that all figured out and I can present you with some videos that are not super choppy. But one of the things that I have noticed is a lot of people asking, what do you use? Yes, I want to get into nature journaling. What do I need to get? So my answer is nothing expensive. And most people that are into nature journaling will tell you the exact same thing. I'm going to show you right now some of the things that I use that aren't super expensive. This is a Denik, D-E-N-I-K notebook, or sketchbook, I should say. And the sketchbook, this particular sketchbook, I think the paper is about 90 pound. And what the good thing about that is it will take a watercolor wash. I have done it in previous notebooks or sketchbooks, this Denik sketchbook. They happen to lay pretty flat. They're 9x7, so they're not huge, but they're not tiny either. So it's just the right size for me to pull out and to make sketches. I was with my child at Dinosaur World. So while she was preoccupied with something, she was on the playground, I sketched a little bit. I already made this video once and screwed up because that's my MO, I guess. So we're going to go through this again. This, I would say the Tikkun Goga, I don't know. I'm going to mispronounce the name. You can get these for, I don't know, 12 for $3 or something. And number 2 pencils, everybody remembers being in school and getting your number 2 pencil. Can you please pull out your number 2 pencil? And I thought, well, all number 2 pencils are the same. Somebody turned me on to these, and these are great. I do love these. I don't know if it's the feel. They're slightly bigger than regular number 2s. I don't know. There's something about them. And the actual use, I mean, they're very smooth. I really do like them. Now, here's the thing. I don't carry these in the field. And the reason I don't is because I end up having to use this. I have nowhere to put it, and then I end up using it in putting the leftovers in my bag, which then I never end up cleaning out. So I have switched from these number 2s to, this is one of my favorite mechanical pencils. This is a it's a 0.7. Okay, and actually we'll go here. This is, believe this is HB lead as well. So HB lead is kind of your run-of-the-mill. This is your number 2 basically. And then when you go to B, we go 2B, 4B, 6B. This is a softer lead, so they're going to be a lot darker. And as they go this way, the darker they get. Okay, so this is darker. And then when you go to H, which I don't know if it stands for hard or not, but that's just how I remember it. 2H, 4H, 6H. So as you go this way, the lead gets harder, so the lighter the line. So a lot of times if you're sketching, you're using HB this way, or if you're doing a quick sketch and want to put a lot of lead down fast, you're doing this. You can buy a set. If you go into Michael's or any craft store, you can buy a whole set of them for like $10. It's going to give you a good range and you can practice with them. This particular pencil doesn't need to be sharpened. You can actually take a piece of sandpaper with you and sharpen it by rolling it on the sandpaper. But I never feel the need to do that. It's just one more thing for me to take and lose. And then I had this for, I don't know, a month or two before I realized it actually had an eraser. I never use this eraser. I always carry with me one of these. Now, I don't really remember where I picked this up, and you can obviously see that I apologize. I rubbed almost all the writing off. But this is an oval eraser. You're going to find some that are square, or I'm sorry, rectangles. Those are very hard. This one's really soft. I really, really like this eraser. It doesn't really pull on your paper. I really, really like this. So I don't know where I picked it up. Could have been Michael's, could have been Walmart, because Walmart's actually starting to carry some art supplies, and when I go in there, which I rarely do, but I always cruise by that section, they actually have sketchbooks that I know they have. It's really thin paper, but they have some that are hardbound that you can get for about $5. So again, you can get into this less than $10. You get some number 2 pencils or a mechanical pencil, that notebook, and off you go. Next thing I carry is I actually carry 2mm lead mechanical pencil. Okay, so this is like a drafting pencil. It munches your lead. You can tell which lead you have in there because there's a slider here. So we have 2H, I have HB in there right now, 2B. So you can actually put whatever lead you want. Move this slider to the lead you have so you remember what you have in there. This one does not come with an eraser. And you can store leads in there. And then this particular one came with a little sharpener, which I absolutely adore. I haven't lost yet. More than likely I will at some point. It'll break my heart because I really do love it. And this one I like because I can get large areas by laying this thing down. You can pull it out like that if you want and make these really, really sketchy lines just very free. So if I was, doing a portrait of somebody, I could get these really, I could put their eyes, nose, or you can pull it in and make, real tight sketches or lines. So I really do enjoy this pencil, and then you just push the top and whoop, eats the lead. So you don't have to worry about breaking it. Next are some of my favorite tools, the Microns. These Microns are waterproof. So if I wanted to put a little bit of color on this particular sketch, I could do so. I bought some Tombows one time. They are not waterproof, and I didn't find out until I started painting. Now the cool thing about that is if you wanted to do a monochrome wash and you were to put the Tombows down and then take your water brush or a brush and just kind of brush it out to make this monochrome painting or sketch or picture, you could do that. I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to bring my water brush out, I'm bringing my watercolors out. So I have, these are the 4 that I carry, the 0.5, the, 0.05, 0.03, 0.01, and 0.05. And what the difference is the line width. So like I said, I already did this once. And you can see there's not a whole lot of difference between the 005 and the 01. But when you're making these tiny, tiny details, I do find that the 0.005 does help me a lot. Now, if I was only going to carry one, it would be the 0.01 because I can make some pretty thin lines, or I can go back over it and make some pretty thick lines. Okay, so this is just a one line. Oh, this one might, there we go. So this one might be actually losing ink. And the cool thing that I find is if I wanted to get a thicker line, I could get my 0.3 and I can make it thicker. Now, here's the rub with this when you try to make thicker stuff. Right here, you can see where I tried to join them. So when you're doing sketch work, and if I try to go back over a line, I may have these gaps. So a lot of times when you're doing line work, you do have to be pretty meticulous. So I'm gonna but you can see right there where it kind of matched up. So what you're trying to do is trail it off a little so that way when I come back with my 0.1, I can actually pick it up. See, and I just really screwed that one up. Now, here's the thing. When you're making a sketch, this isn't going to matter. Where this comes into practice is if you're trying to actually produce a piece of work that you are going to sell, or that you are going to present in a textbook, or professionally somewhere else. These are the things that you don't want. For sketches, I don't want to say who cares, but honestly, if you get your point across, you get your point across. Here I was trying to show that I can make these darker. So if the light source is coming this way, all of these lines are going to be thinner than these. That's how you can show depth with just line. So if you didn't have any other way to show depth, you could vary line width. The other things I love about Microns is they come in colors. So I believe they make the colors in 0.005, 0.1, and then I think it's 0.5. And what I was trying to show here in the last video that I messed up is if you make hatch marks. Now I'm going to say hash marks. They're hatch marks. I think I'm a little too southern sometimes. And, or I just can't talk. Either way. You can make these hatch marks to show not only depth. So if I'm going down here and I'm going to make these a little darker, but to give it kind of a pop of color. These Microns, I believe, I think they cost about $3 to $4. So they're not cheap. Once you start buying them, you know, you're going to invest, I think for a set of 5, it's about $20. Now here's the deal. I'm not a big fan of Michael's, but that's one of the closest stores to me. I live in the middle of nowhere. And so a lot of times they will have coupons, and for stuff like Microns and this, I definitely would suggest going there, grabbing a couple things there, figuring out what you like to use. Because you're gonna save a little bit of money, and you're gonna be able to try different things. Now when you start to go into if you want to do stuff professionally or just for yourself, you want the nicer stuff, you may want to go to an actual art store. I have one, the closest one to me actually I think is in Tampa. So it takes me about an hour or a little over an hour to get to. So I really have to and I'm not a fan of driving in Tampa, so I really have to want to go there to actually get supplies. Also, you can, go online. I think some of them are Blicks, Cheap Joe's. There's always Amazon. I'm not a huge fan of Amazon for no other particular reason than I'm just I try to do mom and pops when I can, but when it comes to art supplies, it's getting harder and harder to do that. So, but I really do hope that this helped a little bit in trying to demystify what you should